game number 1 of the second series of the night. It is going to be a TVZ between these two players. The first one spawning in the top right position of Nimbus, representing Acer as well as Canada. It is Scarlett.
And her opponent in this game, spawning on the top left-hand position of Nimbus, representing Team Pro Dolly and Brazil, is the Blue Terran, Kelazhur.
You know, Pro Dolly isn't an actual team, but it's like, I don't know what it is, to be honest, but apparently it has some kind of reference to Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but just like a dolly that you use to move stuff. Like when you're moving, and like a dolly, you know, you put heavy things on it and just roll it around. But
oh right, yeah, that kind of dolly. I thought you meant like an actual,
like a Barbie doll or something.
Barbie doll. Oh.
Like if you look at the thing there in his hand.
This.
Yep.
The picture has somebody carrying a dolly.
Yeah. I don't know whether what it came from, to be honest, but I learned it during the Breaking Out Invitational.
Ah, well, fun fact.
Yep. I don't know who else is part of it either, but it's kind of like one of those things. If you see like EPS, as well as like Kappa, like the Team Kappa.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Kind of troll team names, but.
There's quite a lot of people in Team Kappa though, because.
Oh yeah. Like the
like Nathaniel just adds everybody, especially I think his subscribers as well.
So. Yeah, it's a quick, well then, looking here on TVZ on Nimbus, one of those maps where Terrans do love to play on just because of that drop potential, but the spawning locations seem to favor Scarlett here as far as drops will go. But Kelazhur is one of those players, I mean, I'm not sure exactly what his playstyle is like, but he is a relatively unknown player compared to, say, Scarlett, right?
Yeah, certainly, definitely Scarlett, I'd say, is the more well-known of the two here. But Kelazhur, I think, is still pretty dangerous for her. And especially these spawning locations, sure, it's a little bit more difficult for Kelazhur to drop her, to get in towards the back of her natural. But if Kelazhur goes for any kind of just straight-up pushes across the map, Scarlett's third base is very, very vulnerable to that sort of thing. With like how she's expanding so close towards Kelazhur, and that can be pretty difficult to deal with. Her fourth as well, she's limited to one of two choices, whereas if she was in cross positions, it'll be much more. She'd have
open. You'd have a lot more. Yeah,
much more. She'd have either way to go, as well as the fact that is the Reaper going to get this? Oh, there we go. And as well as the fact that Nimbus, it's just quite difficult to spread creep towards a fourth base. So if the game goes that far, then it'll be more difficult for Scarlett to hold that, and Kelazhur can make pushes more easily.
I agree. So do you think like maybe Scarlett does something to try to end the game off of that 2 to 3 base economy, or she feels comfortable on a map? I know Scarlett is a very macro-oriented player for the most part. Loves spreading the creep, loves being super greedy with the drones, almost like a new age ret. Lost many games,
except she knows how to stop droning. Yeah. Do you know if Scarlett plays Roach Hydra at all versus Terran?
I don't think I've ever seen her play it before.
No, me neither.
Even when it was popular, there was a point in time where people were like, "Oh my god, this 1-1 Roach timing." Hyun, our last player, kind of popularized it quite a bit.
Definitely. He was doing it before people thought it was really strong. I still play Roach Hydra versus Terran. I think it's really good. Catches a lot of players off guard as well.
Yeah.
I
love it as well.
Yeah, it's kind of a little better on Nimbus, especially because the difficult part about taking that forward face is because it's so far away and it's hard to spread creep there. And the creep is so crucial in Ling, Bane, Muta to allow your Lings to close with the enemy, to allow your Banelings to reposition quickly. But with Roach Hydra, the creep matters a little bit less because you're the same range or just a little bit less or just a little bit more, depending on whether you're Roach or Hydra, than a big bio ball. So
and usually almost kill. You're usually putting the pressure onto the Terran, so they don't really have as much chance. You're the one
denying their third base rather than vice versa.
But look what Kelazhur's doing here, actually. Whoa, he's going to be going for a very aggressive play. Yeah, armor. Yeah. Oh god, yeah, he's going to be making a lot of Hellions here, getting a medevac as well as Marines from that barracks. And we're going to see some kind of Hellbat push, most likely. A medevac will allow the healing on both the Marines as well as the Hellbats. And the Scarlett here is.
Yeah, he's going to start it off with a drop as well, and keeping those 4 Hellions at home There's another slight indicator that he's going to like try and save them. He doesn't want them to get surrounded by Lings and lose them. He wants to keep them alive so he can turn them into Hellbat to make sure this push is as powerful as possible. And Scarlett does see this move out with the Overlord, but in the Struck type, she actually doesn't have a Bane Nest ready. She doesn't have a Roach Horn ready at all. She's going for a Spire, but I don't think...
She doesn't have anything.
Yeah, Kelazhur's not going to let that finish.
No, she's going for like a 2-base Muta. Notice that she didn't even take her third either, so Kelazhur's just going to be moving on in, has no third to deny. The Spinecrawler goes down, and all Scarlett has here are Queens. Kelazhur picking up the injured Hellbats, getting them closer to those Queens, and Scarlett is not going to get these Spinecrawlers done in time, and all she can make are Slowlings. And even Speedlings are not that great against Hellbats, but Slowlings, oh my god, rip.
Rips the Scarlett, and rip she will. GG, and we go on to game 2. Wow, Kelazhur took game of Scarlett.
That's super fast.
Alright, welcome to King's Junk Station for game 2. And down 1-0 here. Showing weakness. Bleeding a little bit. It is our pink Zerg player from Team Acer, Scarlett.
And her opponent, spawning in the bottom right corner, representing Pro Dolly, it is the Brazilian Terran. Spawning in the red this time is Kelazhur.
And he made really short work of Scarlett in that last game.
He actually did, yeah. Very well-timed Hellbat Marine with a Medevac push. Against the 2-base Muta style, which usually will shut it down, but the thing about it is that the timing of the Hellbats hits a little bit too early for the Mutas to come out, so I think if she got those Spine Crawlers up, it would have been a little bit different.
And yeah, Scarlett's been going for a fair bit of 2-base Muta in her TVZ quite recently, so maybe that was a really good read by Kelazhur. Maybe he's been studying her style and thought, right, well, if I do this Hellbat timing just before the, or just a little bit after the Spire's gone down, she'll invest a lot. Yep. She won't have anything to stop this. And I mean, maybe he did, maybe he thought that, maybe he didn't, but either way, it worked very well.
It did.
Congratulations to him.
It did. Well, we spawn here on King Sejong Station, where Scarlett is opening up a little bit differently, dropping down that spawning pool relatively early, before the hatchery even. And maybe she's a little bit nervous about, some kind of quick push out of Kelazhur, whether it be a 2-racks or... I don't know. You don't typically see this pool first style.
Yeah, no, hatch first is generally pretty safe as against just about anything, up to and including a 2-racks if you drone scouts it. But still, you're taking that risk that he hides it in a weird place that you don't see, or you don't see it fast enough or something. But yeah, Scarlett going for the pool first, and her Overlord doesn't go on any kind of particular 2-rack scouting route.
You know, you mentioned up Roach Hydra, and a lot of the times when people do open up with the pool first, Roach Hydra is a style that usually comes out of it, a gasless pool first into the hatchery, using the Lings to kill the command center. Well, not the Ling, but the SCV kill, making it the command center.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see it, but I've never personally seen it before. Out of Scarlett, rather. But Kelazhur looking pretty standard himself, right? Getting that Reaper out, getting the reactor on the barracks, and then most likely going to drop that factory when he does get to that 100 gas. And Scarlett's Lings do avoid the Reaper.
Nice. That's a little win for her there. The problem then becomes, does she have enough at home to stop the Reaper? And she does. She's got a Queen. Yeah. And actually, the Reaper for Kelazhur just heads straight back home. Did he see did the Lings kill an SCV or something?
I don't know. I think he scouted the hatchery timing.
Oh,
and was like, oh, okay, well, I got to be careful for this. Didn't make another Reaper at home. So he went right into the reactor, into the factory. So he had nothing at home. And he's just going to be dancing his SCV around here. Excuse me.
Yeah. And, I mean, this isn't ideal for Scarlett. Really, she wanted to kill that SCV and force Kelazhur to bring another one down to complete it. But I mean, I think she actually delays the command center for a roughly equivalent time. That SCV, all it was doing was just running around, around and around the command center, playing Ring Ring Roses.
It's not even merry-go-round either, right? It's like, hey, map over here, and King Sejong Station, not merry-go-round at all. Very different map dynamics for sure. But they are the two maps though that are good for roadside drip. But Scarlett just setting up, looking like she has. You know, Scarlett has a style where she does go gasless for quite a bit and then gets a third and then just super macro. But she already got the gas, so it's not like she's doing that this time.
No, fast lair as well, and that's before her third base comes down. So this could be a 2-base mute timing again.
Wow.
She probably need a little bit more gas for it.
Yeah, she took a very late gas for this one.
Yeah. But still, without that third base, does she have speed even?
I don't think she got speed, man. Oh yeah, she didn't get speed.
No speed. So first 100 gas straight into that hat tree, and now with more gases coming down, we could be seeing the 2-base mutual again. This time, Kelazhur's going for a really fast third base. There's no starport out, and he's going for, pretty normal, fairly greedy sort of Terran play. So the Mutalist could wreak absolute havoc here with Kelazhur.
Especially because Kelazhur made it at the third location too. Like it's not like he made it in the main and just was making SCVs. That's a very bold move from Kelazhur, and he's just gonna go ahead. He's feeling good about game 3 as he did take Scarlett out in game number 1 or game 2 rather. This is okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
but, with that Hellbat push that he did earlier.
Yes. Yeah, there's the Spire coming down for Scarlett, and the Hellions for Kelazhur coming to the third base, or the lack thereof. And Scarlett's Queens are a little bit out of position here. Their Spine Crawler should be able to deal with these those. And oh, nice attempt at the Evo block, but still a couple drones actually. Pull off again. Surrounds these Hellions really nicely, and Hellions actually not so hot on drones once they've been surrounded. So
hey, but
6 drones go down though.
They didn't do too bad, right? I feel like that could have been a bit worse.
It could have been worse, but yeah, certainly. They killed a few drones, but the big thing is now Kelazhur has lost all map control. He's lost all his presence out on the map. There's nothing he can move out really safely. He's going to move this SCV out just because, it's okay if he loses it. But the big thing that comes with that in what he's up against is he's lost his scouting. So he's not going to see these Mutalisks coming out probably until they arrive at his base, unless these two.
He just he did a scan in the main of Scarlett. Was able to see the Spire being made. Yeah, so he's immediately making missile turrets out, and Scarlett using drones to defend Hellions once more, but saving the drones this time, and now comes down with the third. So it's
1-1 Hellions, pretty good.
So then, okay, so
Kelazhur's got his missile turrets down, 7 Mutalists out Scarlett, and Kelazhur's looking pretty all right now. Then his stim finished. Stim is finished. He's got another barracks with a reactor on it. He's going to get his starport out as well, and the Marines can chase down the Mutalists pretty well. The missile turrets can shoot down Mutalists pretty well, and Kelazhur has a third base up. Scarlett is only just finishing, and Kelazhur's upgrades are ahead as well, which is something you really don't want to be, a position you don't want to be in as a Zerg.
Yeah, he's ahead in every aspect of this game just right now. As these mutas aren't going to be able to do too much, they're going to get warded away by that missile turret. And there's not enough mutas that she can actually go in and snipe the missile turrets just yet. So, yeah, I feel like this is a really build order win here for Kelazhur. Getting away with that third at the location. And but look at what Scarlett's doing. She's doing a little bit of a cool strategy that I really like. Getting the burrow, so she'll be able to burrow lings around the map if she wants to for map vision, as well as burrowing banelings.
Yeah, and ever since that famous match, that ZVT Scarlett versus Bomber,
I was there
Scarlett
live.
Yeah.
So
she's kind of been known for her burrowed bangs. It's something she's gone for a lot more. Like it wasn't something that she ever used before, and now you can see her, not every match, but about 1 out of 3, maybe 2 out of 3, or half, going for that burrow and putting some bailing landmines around, and it's really fun. There's nothing I love more than a good bailing hit.
Yeah, me neither. Well, me too, rather. But getting the bailing speed at the same time as well. And gotta be careful with those mutas, as Kelazhur's economic position is pretty good, but Scarlett, another thing she's really known for is that creep spread, and look at how far it's already spreading. Getting to the middle of the map as well.
Yeah, she still hasn't lost a Mutalisk either, which is really nice to see, and it's exactly what she wants to be doing, because, ideally, you never lose a Mutalisk, and it really helps keeping that muta count high. If it gets big enough to fight a full drop of Marines, then that's an absolutely fantastic position to be in, because they become excellent at denying drops, as well as doing harassment and being able to sit over production if they get the opportunity, just killing everything that comes out and shutting it down. And she's going to move it and find an angle on this gas. And Kelazhur's a little out of position, so she might be able to focus it down. No, she's going to back off.
Oof. Still not losing a muta either.
No, very nice control.
And surprisingly, she's able to get ahead in upgrades, getting 2-2 before Kelazhur has started his. Kelazhur has not started his 2 upgrade on his armor, but he does have the weapon. But Scarlett is caught up, and that is a beautiful position to be in, especially getting that 4th base. 15 drones on the way, as well as the infestation pit. So I wonder, we saw Scarlett do the Swarm Host style at IEM before.
Yeah.
But didn't really look strong when she did it. So I don't know if she'll try it this time, but we'll see. Oh, the medevac, gotta be careful.
Oh, she's gonna draw. Oh, there's some borrowed banelings there.
Yeah, they're burrowed, and Kelazhur has no idea about this burrow yet. Both sides, actually. So that's the trap. This could be a big bailing hit. Yeah. Nice burrowed veins. Barely missing it with that scan. But Kelazhur is moving forward still as well. Like, Scarlett is in a nice position. She's up to 86 drones, so she's left alone. She's going to be in a pretty nice spot, despite being a little bit behind earlier in the macro as far as getting her 3rd before, or later rather.
Yeah, she's caught up pretty well, and Kelazhur's cleared up her creep spread a little bit, but I'm sure she'll be right back on top of that. Yeah, now she's in a position where she feels like she can fend off this push. The Lings run in, Lings run back out.
Big run by at the 3rd, as well as a big run by with banelings as well.
Yeah, and that's a lot of banelings.
Yep, Scarlett going to be taking out the missile turret, and then burrows some banelings in the mineral line of Kelazhur. So if he's not paying attention, he's going to have to be careful. But there's a big push here coming from Kelazhur to the 4th base of Scarlett. But there's a lot of units here. Widowmines are going to blow up on all of those mutalisks, but there is so much on the ground here for Scarlett. Oh no, I think all the Marines are going to go down, and the medevacs are in range of the mutas with nothing to support them.
And the SCVs are coming back to this third base.
No. Oh, Kelazhur!
Scarlett!
A sick bailing hit. Only 2 of them. Not using all
Scarlett, because she's still got 3. She could blow up this little pack of Marines and Marauders.
Yeah, she could blow them up.
She's gonna wait. She's gonna wait. Bide her time until the SCVs.
You gotta keep an eye on that one then.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's something I'm gonna be camera hockeying up.
Oh, you can do that as an observer, can you?
I actually don't know.
You can. Wow, you learn something new every day. You can camera hotkey as an observer.
Huh. Awesome.
Sweet. Oh, something blew up. Oh, the other banelings that were at the ramp at that.
Oh yeah, more borrowed banelings by Scarlett. This is what we were talking about. This is what we wanted. I don't think that's a full medevac, but a medevac goes down nonetheless. And Ling run by is getting, or the Lings are getting in a position where they can run by this 3rd base, and Kelazhur's SCV line is looking pretty full again.
Yeah, some banelings could come out for as a little midnight snack here if they would choose to. But Scarlett playing this really fantastically. Look at the supply. She is so far ahead, almost maxing out, already getting up to her hive, and dealt with the pressure that Kelazhur was going to be putting on in the mid game. Hey, the banelings blew up everything at that 3rd. Once again, down to 50 SCVs. Kelazhur is.
Yeah, really nice hits there by those like 5 banelings have taken out about 20 SCVs, and Kelazhur's going to push across the map again. The Muclis can really nicely pick up a missile turret, and Kelazhur scans the ramp before going down it. He's not falling for this again. But
yeah, he does not want to die to.
Still, there's Muclis just kiting back, killing off Marauders, and one of them does go down, but they can circle around. Always dangerous. And Scarlett goes for a counter attack straight into that 3rd base again.
That's so many Lings at the 3rd of Kelazhur. She's just buying time, forcing Kelazhur to come back, but Kelazhur doesn't look like he wants to come back. Even the mutas are just enough to deal with the Marines. She actually has to pull back. That's a lot of units here from Kelazhur. Oh, the medevac's even taken it.
Oh.
Yes. Oh my god, Scarlett is going ham at the 3rd of Kelazhur, and now he doesn't have an army at all. Whoa, nice Widowmine hit though, but now the Thor is going to get surrounded, and there is so much inside of the natural of Kelazhur as he does his final push into the 4th with a kind of pathetic amount of units, and GG. Well played. Kelazhur falls, and Scarlett.
He's gone down the bottom left-hand corner of Foxtrot Labs, playing as the Red Terran from Pro Dolly. It's Kelazhur.
I can't get over that icon.
Pro Dolly, Team Pro Dolly.
Pro Dolly. Because I was trying to figure out if he actually was on a team, but just had the icon. But I think Kelazhur does play on NA anyway, because although he is from South America, they still will play on the North American server. Because
Is there a South American server?
I don't believe so. Central or South. So
No,
if you are in
I don't think
Central
so.
or South, you do have to play on NA. Excuse me, but yep.
They might as well just call it America then. Why don't they just call it the America server?
Hey, but then everyone gets all offended, you know. Anytime oh my god, I'm not even okay. Don't breathe.
I've touched a nerve here.
Anybody from like Canada, I'm like, yeah, America. They're like, I'm not American, I'm Canadian, but I'm like, it's North America, man.
It's American subcontinent.
It's America. Like, it's not.
You're not from the USA. You're just. American.
I didn't say that. Yeah, right. Like, I didn't say that to him, and it's just like, hey, why do you gotta get so offended? We're all family here.
Oh well.
But either way,
It's all right. You can call me an American.
To make me feel better about. Thank you, Trigonal. I appreciate it, man. The Jimmies were like so rustled, and then you've unrustled them all just with that one statement.
That's why they call me the Jimmy Unrustler.
So well, looks like we are here in game number 3, right?
Yep.
Kelazhur taking a really quick game number 1, and here we are on Foxtrot Labs, a map that is not very often seen in series, like at all, ever, really.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's the most vetoed map in our map.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I really like it. I think it makes some really fun games, and I also think that if we see something similar to what we did last game, it could work out really well for Scarlett. There's a lot of chokes to burrow banelings on. In these positions, it looks a little bit like Cloud Kingdom, like it plays a little bit less defensively. Because that's the thing. Like Cloud Kingdom had the third bases on the high ground, and this has the third base on the low ground, which is a big difference. And it's not quite as good for Reapers, but still pretty strong for Reapers. There's that little promenade sort of thing for the Reaper to jump up onto.
The diving board.
Yeah, the diving board. And you can also get some really great positions on drops on it. If you have like a Marauder in the front, Lings will just never kill your drop.
True. And you know what Scarlett loves to do, Ling Bling Muta. So
yeah.
Looks like Kelazhur using that Reaper to his advantage, getting a few. Did he get any kills? He got 2 kills on it, but the Lings that do come out are kind of sacrificial anyway. You try to not lose anything, but I mean, hey, if you can get something as a Terran player, that's a victory, as well as the scouting information that he did get.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, with one Reaper, it's just the scouting information. If you kill a couple of Lings, that's a nice bonus. If you kill a drone, that's really good.
Exactly. I mean, killing 2 Lings is kind of like killing a drone, right, though? I mean...
yeah, in a lot of ways. I mean, Scarlett's probably not going to remake the Lings, but minerals to minerals, it's the same. But
yeah.
They just keep on getting those that extra minerals per minute.
Yeah, it's a circle of StarCraft life, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, looking that Kelazhur is opening up a little bit more standard. I wonder if we'll see that really early third command center. Do you think this is a good map to do that on? Especially, I mean, I don't know, right? This is a very open third, so I don't know if we'll see such a bold third place like he did on King Sejong.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. King Sejong is a much longer map and a much more defensive map. That third base is a lot more set back on King Sejong, whereas you can take a more set back third on Foxtrot Labs, the one just to the right of the natural.
Oh, true, yeah.
But it's behind the rocks, so without making an investment to kill the rocks, and yeah, we see the third command center going down in the main, which I think is a much better position.
Yeah, I agree.
As well, the main is a lot closer to the third base he's likely going to fly it to. So it'll only take like 10, 20 seconds to get over there, and it's a lot safer while it does. But for now, Kelazhur's going to run these Hellions in again, and already roasting a couple drones.
Oh my god, Scarlett is lining up her drones. She has to be so careful. So many drones are going to be going down. Kelazhur going to bypass it all and go right for the main. He still has 4 Hellions alive, and you only need 3 to 1-shot a drone. But 1's going to go down, 2's going to go down. And there goes the 3rd one, so Scarlett deals with it pretty easily. And the difference between last game is that she had speed there. Remember last time she didn't have any speed, so...
Yeah. Still, though, 9 drones go down there.
Oh, wow. Damn. 10 in total.
10 in total, yeah. So that's a pretty nice little pick-up for Kelazhur. That's going to slow Scarlett down quite a bit. Because she has to rebuild all those or just suffer the consequences of being on almost no drones for the rest of the game. And again, we see Scarlett going for this two-base neuter. She really likes this.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like losing drones off of that too is a bigger blow as well, just because this third is so much later. And she's trying to just have full base saturation as she goes into this muta play. But Kelazhur is looking so aggressive already, dropping down the tech that he does need in order to supplement this third. And Scarlett's looking at that position to see exactly when he will take that base. But this is just macro. This is straight up macro that we're seeing out of Kelazhur. And Scarlett is going for the less macro build, but I guess, I don't know, like when you go for the earlier mutas, I'm trying to think like what exactly you want to accomplish with them. Is just to build them up over time, or maybe
I mean, ideally you just get a few mutas out earlier, and then your gas goes back into catching up on the things you lose. You lose out on the upgrades, and you lose out on banelings, basically, early on to get that fast harassment potential. And you want, I mean, I've seen two-base muta just like 7 mutalists win games before when somebody's gone
like Beck or something
3 CC like really fast 3cc and a 111 just straight up to starport, and each time their barracks has just been producing an add-on rather than any marines. And it's perfect against that. That's the ideal scenario. But for now, Kelazhur has he hasn't seen the Spire, so he's a little bit unprepared, but he still has that safety missile turret, and this is his first sign the mutalist, and he's going to turn this third base right back around and go towards his main again. Kelazhur's Marines come to push them away, but the mutalists pick off an SCV and a couple of contents, and now they can dance around. Foxtrot Labs, well, I mean, when the third comes up, is really, really good to dance between the third and the main and circle around to the natural, or the third and natural. Yeah, the third and the natural.
Yeah, especially taking that base, right? Like the easier to take third, but well, if he's able to secure it, it's going to be pretty good for him. Scarlett recognizes that already, taking a fourth of her own, and is going to be setting up with that burrow once again, as well as the Baneling speed. So we're looking at a very similar build that we saw on King Sejong. Luckily for her, not dying in the first 10 minutes of the game, so I think she's pretty happy about that for sure.
Yeah, I think she is. And going back a little to what you were saying earlier about Scarlett going for the less macro build, it's true that the two-base muta will hurt your macro, and even if it's as good as Scarlett, then you're going to be a bit behind. But when we saw her go for the two-base muta on King Sejong, she was able to still pull ahead of Kelazhur in that macro game because she's just so good at it. She's known for her macro styles, not for her weird all-ins or anything. And so I think it's a pretty decent decision if you're confident enough in your macro that you can hurt it a little bit but still pull ahead. You think you can just outplay the other player, then doing something where you can do that, but at the same time keep them back at home and harass them and keep them down a bit, I think is a great decision. But right now, Kelazhur is going to be putting that to the test by moving out with his little force.
Yeah, he's moving on out. He has 3 base economy behind this, has a pretty healthy amount of units. Oh, the muta's got to be a little bit careful, but Kelazhur got to be careful with his medevacs as well. He's going out. He has 1-1. They both have 1-1, but this time we see Kelazhur ahead in the upgrades. But Scarlett's going to try to get this run by once again. She's made a lot of Banelings just for defense, but she also made a lot of Banelings on the left side to do this run by. But the thing is, here is there's really not a lot here that is going to be able to defend. She's going to have to get the most godly of godly Baneling hits here. And here comes the run by. Not quite as lucky as on King Sejong. Oh.
No, and the Warren actually working against Kelazhur a little bit here. Still, though, not a huge number. But in the middle of the map, Scarlett has completely overrun Kelazhur, but still, there's some left over.
Yep, and it's a lot closer, like you said. Foxtrot Labs being a much shorter map than King Sejong, even just killing a few units there already. Here are a lot of units from Kelazhur, and now she's trying to more Banelings in, frantically moving them around, but I think Kelazhur's going to split at the last minute. Gonna move on back. There's only a few Banelings here, targeting down those Banelings, and there's just not enough here on the ground for Scarlett, and the pressure is on, and this third is under fire.
Yeah, the third's going to go down almost certainly, but she can transfer the drones to the fourth, so it's not such a huge loss, though it still doesn't have the refineries taken, so she's going to have her gas income hurt a little bit. And morphing and Banelings at the top of the ramp, but Kelazhur, I think, he definitely knows there's a fourth there now, seeing those, seeing the fourth. So that's going to go down too, and that's going to hurt Scarlett a lot more.
This is really big, because now these drones have nowhere to go. Where are they going to go? They can't get into the medevacs. They don't belong to her. And she's going to go ahead and lose all of these drones, and she might go in for one last kind of final last-ditch effort. But there's only 2 Banelings in this army, and they hit Marauders. And now Kelazhur has 2-2 completed. Scarlett has only just now begun her 2 armor upgrade. These good Baneling hits, but Kelazhur scoops up onto the medevac.
And he's going to head on out of there. But not for long, I feel. Already he's reburrowing Widow Mines, and Scarlett she's still feeling the pressures. There's no time for her to pull back head-in drones. There's no time for her to bank up any more minerals. And Scarlett's actually just going to run straight around Kelazhur's army. Doesn't think she can fight it, I guess, and she's going to try and take out the reinforcements and whittle it down that way, I suppose.
Yep, and she will get the reinforcements, but the main threat is right here. There are so many Widow Mines. There are 6 of them. Scarlett is just trying to make stuff happen here. She has a lot of minerals, but she doesn't have the larvae because she lost so many of those bases. She has no production, so in goes the Lings and the Banes, and GG will be called.
Yeah.